So that gave me a total of $85,131.65 for this year. Guys, I paid off all of my credit card debt. So that card is done. That is my third credit card to reach 0. Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Sia, and today we're doing a debt confessions video. Finally, I know I promised I was going to do like monthly updates, but if you saw my last video, I have been extremely busy. So I'm gonna catch you guys up of what has been happening with my debt over the last 2 months, and it's been a lot. So let's get right into it. So as a reminder, I started off the year with $33,713.20 in credit card debt and $43,992 in student loan debt. And I also had a personal loan of $901.61. And that totals $78,607.65 in debt. But when I did my taxes, I did owe taxes this year, and I owed them $6,524. So that gave me a total of $85,131.65 for this year. I had made progress. So y'all saw in my first debt confessions video for this year, I paid off the personal loan, and I believe at that time I paid off 2 credit cards. Now to talk about where we are. So in the month of May, I made a total debt payment of $1,949.96, and that was mostly towards my credit cards. I paid down $1,274.98 towards my Bank of America card, $178.45 towards my Barclays card, and then my student loans payments unfortunately have increased for like the first time in years. They randomly increased my minimum payment on my student loans to like $496. So I paid that on my student loan. I didn't include the interest there, but I also didn't include the last payment for July. So, we'll see where that ends up. It's not going to be far off from the total that I give you. Then for the month of June, I was able to pay off a total of $3,246.28 worth of debt. And that includes $2,631 that went towards my Bank of America card, and then $118.75 that went to my Barclays card, and then $496 again that went to my student loan. So by the end of June, I had a balance of $2,037.91 on my Bank of America card, and then $16,747 on my Barclays card, and then with my student loans, $42,267.60 for my student loan. And then I had already paid a quarter of my taxes that I owe to the IRS, and so my balance for that is $4,893. And the reason why there hasn't been another payment towards it is because I did get a letter from the IRS saying that my due dates have been extended because I am in LA, and I think they're giving all of LA an extension for their taxes and their tax returns. We have an automatic extension to October, so instead of putting money towards that, knowing I'm not going to get penalties or fees, I'm putting it towards my high interest debt. Also, just a reminder that I'm talking to you guys like you've already seen my first video, and I hope you have watched my first video on it, but I am doing the snowball method, pretty much just focusing on my credit card debt. My student loan debt is not the top of my mind at all, but I am paying the minimum payments that is required of me. My goal for this year is to just get out of credit card debt. So yeah, so let's bring it into July, where we are now, because I have made payments in July. And part of the reason why I've been able to make such payments and bring down my Bank of America card and some of the payments towards my Barclays card, I kept paying the minimum, but mostly the bigger payments towards my Bank of America card, even though I haven't been, sharing my budget videos with you guys for the past couple of months. I stay on top of my budget. I haven't been like meticulous about it, and I'm going to have have to like put in a lot of data that I missed for the past 2 months, but I know my basic budget, and that's what's so good about having the spreadsheet. It's already there. So I know what extra money I have left over and what I can and cannot do with it. And so once I do the math on that, like quick math to, you know, subtract all of my basic expenses, the money for whatever plans I had coming up, then I'm able to, you know, throw extra money on my credit card. What also happened, and you guys know that I love to be transparent with you guys, I did get paid back a good amount of money from my mother. As you guys have probably seen in my monthly budget videos, I had been paying her rent for, I don't know, it's maybe been a year or so now, maybe even more, but she was finally able to get some money back as expected eventually. And so she was able to pay me back a good chunk of it, which was like $10,000 basically. So I was able to use some of that money. Obviously you don't see a $10,000 hit to any of my cards, but I was able to use some of that money to pay extra on my Bank of America card. And then all the travels that I mentioned in my last video with Hawaii, going to the East Coast, Vegas even. And honestly, I left just like some money in my account, a whole bunch of different things. The money went towards that so that I wasn't really concerned about it in my most basic budget. But now we come to July, where we currently are, and you guys are about to see good stuff, okay? So for July, like I said, I had a balance of $2,037.91 on my Bank of America card, and I put $2,037.91 on my Bank of America card. So that card is done. That is my third credit card to reach zero. And so that left me with my one credit card where I started the year at $17,460.47. And at this point in early July, I had a balance of $16,747. It's very possible, as I could see, because I had paid off already at this point $17,000, over $17,000 of debt up until the 1st of July, right? And so I could see maybe another 6 months of doing the same thing. I can pay off this credit card that's at $16,000, right? But you guys, another piece of transparency, and something that I had brought up before where I said I put money into the stock market. So I had started investing again since last year. I always do it here and there throughout the years, but last year I decided to put some money into some contracts. Me and Mario had put some money together from our savings into some contracts. I had bought some shares, and I honestly was able to get some margin and use some margin Robinhood for some shares and contracts and stuff like that. I didn't like go super hard with it, but I was making some moves there. I was at some point last year in July or August. It was August because I was on the East Coast in August, trying to get, $1,000 that I had in the account turned to $2,000. I was just like, really wanted to get it to $2,000. I really wanted to then flip that to $4,000 and da. So I had been making moves, putting some more money in there at the end of last year. This year in April, when the market basically crashed, like everything was down so bad. I was up so good, like at the end of the year. I know I definitely mentioned that to you guys. I did get a question about like, what am I investing in, blah, blah, blah. I'm, of course wary about that because I don't want to give financial advice. You cannot give financial advice. I'm not a person to give financial advice. None of this is financial advice. But when everything went down in April, I did move some things around. I did put a little bit more money in there. I used a little bit more margin to buy some shares, stuff because I was confident that eventually, especially for shares, I was gonna hold long term, things would, recover. I know how fast? No. I know how good Hood was going to be to me? No. But I did have a lot of faith, especially in Hood. I have stocks and shares in other companies as well, but I had like a good portion of my portfolio in Hood and a really good portion of my portfolio in Nvidia. And since that recovery, my account went all the way down to $4,000. I had already, the highest I think it reached was $18,000. Went down to $4,000 in April. Like that was bad. It had gone back up to about $24,000. And, I was like, I can just get out of debt. right? Like credit card debt. Again, my focus is the high interest credit card debt. I can just get out of debt if I just pull out this money, and it's so hard to do when you know like, oh, there's potential for things to go up, go up, go up. But once I free myself from this debt officially, I can get back into the market. It's not going anywhere, right? I talked to Mario about it. Yeah, he really supported that decision and idea that I had, and I was still hesitant about it because it was so cute to see. You know, I was, like I said, I was trying to get my account from 1,000 to 2,000, and at some point I got it to 24,000. Literally this week, I was like, I have it. Let me just free myself. Like, that is what the assets are for, right? It's to lead me to freedom. And that's like what the games are about, right? Like, I guess like Monopoly, or if you guys ever played like the Rich Dad, Poor Dad board game, it's like you have your assets kind of build your asset. If you get into debt, you use that to pay off your debt, whether it's cash or investments or whatever the case is, right? You don't want to sit, especially with bad debt, which is what I was doing. And so one morning this week, which was, I think it was Thursday, I woke up and I was like, it was between my alarms. I was like, let me just do it. Let's just like pull the trigger. And I have a little bit of PTSD because the last time I did this, it was only for about $7,000, and it was right before my surgery. And I thought that I was gonna still get paid for that month that I was out of work. So I wasn't really worried. I didn't have any like savings really. And I was just like, that's $7,000 I can put towards that and, you know, keep going. I'll get paid, blah, blah, blah. I end up not getting paid. And I'm like, so I actually ended up needing that money, and it didn't go towards that. So I had a little bit of PTSD, but I'm like, no, I'm okay. I have my job. It's fine. I'm getting paid. I'm gonna have extra money. I'm actually still leaving some money into the account. Me and Mario have another investment account with investments together. So I'm like, it's just not the same situation. It is a smarter, better situation. I'm not leaving myself completely vulnerable. So I started slowly with the stuff I had really small amounts in, like some crypto. I had a really, really small amount in Apple and like Eli Lilly, I believe. And like, I was just going up the ladder on it, and I went to sleep and woke up again and started to, you know, sell some more shares slowly. It was nerve-wracking but exciting at the same time. And funny enough, Mario texted me in the morning in between that, and he's like, I think you should sell your stuff and pay off your debt. Like, let's stop wasting time. And I was like, this must be confirmation. I'm like, yep, okay, we'll do it. I'm already in the middle of doing it. He didn't know I was in the middle of doing it, and it just felt like confirmation, and it was really hard to do. I really especially love Hood, so I ended up keeping some long-term contracts that I have for Hood there, but sold literally everything else. And so I pulled out like I pulled out $17,000. And as soon as I hit my account, which it did just yesterday, I went and put into my credit card, pay off the full statement. So I paid off $16,747 to my Barclays card, you guys. And now the balance sits at zero, you guys. I paid off all of my credit card debt. I cannot believe, I'm so sorry for screaming, but I am so excited. I cannot believe I finally have done this. Like I've been on this journey. I've been talking about this when I had way less credit card debt, and it seemed so hard to do. And then somehow I doubled it and tripled it, and I got really serious this year with you guys. I got really serious. From January to the middle of July, I paid off $33,713.20 of credit card debt, you guys. And there was some interest in there. So it was definitely more money that I put towards that to pay off the interest that was posted. Of course, I'm expected to see a little bit of interest to be posted to Bank of America and Barclays. I will pay that off as well this month. But when that hits, it hits. It won't hit for another week or two. For them, you guys, I am credit card debt free. It feels very free. So yeah, that's why if you saw in the last video, we went to STK to celebrate. It wasn't planned or whatever. Went to celebrate. I had bought Mario some bracelets because I wanted to give him an engagement gift. And That was after we got our glasses and contacts and everything. That was just, I'm on a high right now. I am riding on a freaking high right now. I did it. I freaking did it. And so where we are currently and what we're looking at going forward, of course, we have to look at that going forward because I still have debt, right? So first things first will be the IRS debt, and I'm really conflicted on if I want to just slowly pay that because it's not due till October. So I can pay the last 3 portions of it, like a bit this month, next month, August and September, or the first payment, August, September, and then October last payment, or I can put maybe a bigger chunk because I'm expected to get last half of my sign-on bonus this month. So that would pay off a good chunk of it, and I could potentially do that, but I also want to get this place together. Like, I can do that. I am so excited. We'll see how that goes. I am thinking I'm gonna do the 3 months just back to back to back, but we'll see. Of course, I will keep you guys posted on that, my monthly budget videos. And then, of course, I have my large, very large and in charge $42,000 of student loans. And you know, for some people who are especially, you know, following people who are like so gung-ho, so hard on like Dave Ramsey plan or anything like that, like just to be fully debt free, will be like, girl, just did that in 7 months. You can do it again in another 7, 8 months, maybe. I don't want to, you guys. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna hold you. I don't want to. I don't want to. And I might change my mind. But I honestly, I feel like I can manage that $500 minimum payment. And also turning in my mind is like, maybe I just make an extra payment per month, that it is paid off a bit faster, but not like the main focus. The interest rate on it is decent, so I might look into see if I could get a lower interest rate on it. It's much lower than like credit card debts. Like it probably would benefit me more to invest my money to focus on paying off this debt, even on the average rate of return for like the S&P or the whole market. It's like 10 to 12% per year. Like that's going to earn me more than this loan would cost me, right? So I'm conflicted there, but I am always interested to hear you guys' thoughts and opinions on that. Like, what would you do in my situation? Like, I know there's people on the side of math doesn't make sense to focus on that, focus on investing and building wealth, and then you'll pay that off, whatever. There are other people that are like, no, go straight to freedom, be done with it, spend another 8 months, 8, 9, 10 months, maybe even more than that. Like, I don't know how the heck I just did this 33,000. Maybe another year going hard on like paying off this debt and just be done with everything and have a super clean slate. So let me know which side of that you are on, or if you're somewhere in the middle, kind of like me, considering like just pay a little bit extra towards it, but which they've already decided for me because they've increased my monthly payment, but pay a little more towards it each month and focus on building wealth. I would love to hear you guys' thoughts. I am super happy. Please update me on your debt journeys currently. I will continue to make debt confession videos, but probably not as much unless I decide to go hard with the student loan debt. But I will, of course, keep you guys updated with that. I will, of course, mention it in my monthly budget videos anyways, but you guys know my main goal was to get out of credit card debt, and we did that. We did that. I'm shook. Like, I wondered if it would require me to go like super viral on social media. Like, you've seen some people on TikTok who go through their debt journey, and I wish I did continue on with that because people are making money. Like, one of the girls I follow on there, she's making like 50K a month now after having gone through her debt journey, and then now it's like just talking about how much money she's pulling in each month and stuff. Like, it's insane, which would be awesome. Okay, if I was pulling in 50K a month, yeah, the student loan could be gone because heck, I got the 50K, but you know, things are different. I really love talking to you guys on YouTube, and maybe I'll make my return to TikTok, still TBD. But anyways, let me know what you guys want to see. Let me know if you have any further questions. I could, you know, do an investing journey with you guys, maybe like show you guys what I'm doing, but that'll be slow and steady. There's no like crazy rush. Like I'm not trying to, you know, do the whole get rich quick. It's like real slow, a little bit slower than that, but not as slow as just like the full-on boring way. Maybe I'll take you guys along with that. I'm really, on the fence about that. We'll see. But I do overall want to still like take you guys on a journey of like building wealth, setting myself up for a better future for myself and my family, with me and Mario, and maybe our future kids if we have any in the future. So yeah, you guys let me know. Let me know what you want to see. Let me know if you have any questions. I can obviously do a full like recap on my journey and really dig in even further on how I did this and what it took for me to be able to do this. And even over the years, you guys know I increased my income some this year as well, so that was helpful. But let me know what you guys want to see. If you have any questions, I will definitely answer them in the next debt confessions video, so leave them down below. I love you guys, and thank you guys for the encouraging words and thoughts and everything on the last video, and let me know that I'm not alone on this journey and all of that. I never felt alone, knowing I had you guys for sure. So I thank you guys so much. The motivation really led me to this point that you guys, you know, gave to me. All the energy you guys pushed out to me. So thank you. I love you. See you guys in the next one. Bye.